Hey, it's Mr. Smith 4200, and I'm here. I'm going to do a rant on the recession. Well, I think first off, part of what's caused the recession is, it seems to me, there's a lot of talk about the housing market, and it contributed to it. And with anything, there's not like there's one source. There's no one cause to it. There are big causes and there are little contributing factors, but there's never really, to any problem, really one solution or one main factor or cause. But anyhow, I think the housing market has something to do with it, but the housing market is really more of an example of what happened to American society. I'm a big history person. I'm Italian. I like Rome. Rome's interesting. Rome, they got into this thing where they lived in such niceness and they just had such high standard of living and they just got very carefree and lackadaisical and they got invaded. Not that I think we're going to get invaded, but it's just our society basically has gotten to the point where it's okay where people want to live this high standard of living but they don't necessarily have the means to pay for it, but they're still able through other systems to get that standard of living, but they indebt themselves. And when you indebt yourself, you're in debt. So when you have to pay that off, if you can't pay it off, you go bankrupt. So then that bank has given you all this money to buy all this stuff that you can't pay back, so there's a bunch of money missing. And I don't know, it's people get into debt and then it's money that needs to be paid back, and then these people don't have money, and then these businesses start to go out of business and lose money, and then they don't hire as many people, and people don't have as much money in their pockets, so they don't buy as much stuff, which causes more businesses to go out of business because there's not as much stuff being bought, which causes more people to have less in their pockets, and you get a higher unemployment rate, and it's like a circling toilet thing. It just all goes down the drain. So, where am I going with this? I don't know. Part of it is, this world market we have is a lot of the things that we have and make, we don't make in this country anymore. We don't make a whole lot. We're not a very industrialized nation. The reason that we pulled out of the Great Depression so well was because we were an industrialized nation, and when we went to war, it created jobs in our factories that we had at home. That wouldn't work nowadays. If we're being in a recession, going to war isn't going to work. I don't know what the solution is. Just buy more random crap, I guess. That's what makes America great. Bring the GDP up by buying more random crap. Make the dollar worth more. But, it's easy to say, but it's, people, I myself, I don't buy a whole lot. I'm pretty frugal with the way I spend my money, and you kind of have to be. You got to keep your money in the bank. But, we just have this high standard of living that people try and achieve, but even if they don't have the means to, and just look at a lot of the culture we live in. We basically worship celebrities who live these fabulous lifestyles, and then tell us, by the way, and I'm going off on a little tangent right here. Celebrities who live in these wonderful, nice lifestyles in these plush little houses and whatnot, and then they tell us what we should do. Anyhow, part of the thing, and I applaud Obama, and I'm not really that much of an Obama fan, and I applaud Obama, and I read in the newspaper, I don't know if he's going to do anything about it, but I heard him trying to have talks with China, because part of it is China, the maker of everything, makes it cheap to put factories in their country by keeping their currency purposefully low. They purposefully keep their money worth a lot less than a lot of other currencies, even though they could easily, with the wealth that they produce, make their currency higher. So, worth more, which would mean that having a factory there would be more expensive, and thus it may be more cheaper to put factories somewhere else. They want to bring that business into their country. And that hurts us and other Western nations who industrialized, and that's how they got their power. Because any nation really only gets its power from its industrial period. And the post-industrial period is like trying to pick up the pieces. The generation that inherits this wonderful, vast empire of wealth, and then slowly, generation after generation, it crumbles away into pieces. You look at the infrastructure we have. That infrastructure was great. And that's what Obama should put into place, is some kind of infrastructure. If he wants to really lower the unemployment rate and really wants to restart and boost the economy, he needs to have like a something like FDR did. He should be modeling after FDR anyway. I mean, FDR's ideas wouldn't have saved us if we hadn't had the war, period. But certain programs, if expanded on and the idea was maybe modernized, I'm not an economist, I'm just saying that if you took like a public works program, and that's how Alaska got, the infrastructure in Alaska was built. Hell, Alaska's a great starting point. There's like no roads up there. If we could put some kind of like system into there, that would be great. We've got all this broken infrastructure in the lower 48 here, all these bridges that are collapsing and all this crap going on. Why not instead of patching and praying and just do it, putting a little bit of asphalt here and hoping that's just gonna, be fine. Why don't we just repave the roads, just have teams in divide the country into regions, like 12 or 15 regions, I guess, I don't know, and have set that region up in an organization of, we're going to redo the roads in this part, and you guys are going to do them here, we'll meet you here, and, something like that. And then you'd have those people, and you would use instead of, part of the problem also is all this tax money we're paying the government is just going to fill the government employees' paychecks. They pass laws raising their paycheck. No one should be allowed to do that. That's like letting a janitor decide how much they should. I mean, it's not like you don't let people decide how much they get paid. That's stupid. That's, that I can't even explain. That's about as much as I can explain it because it's just that dumb. It's just common sense. Fox in the hen house kind of deal. But, so would people is there the money to pay the paychecks of these people to do these public works projects? Yes. Is it there budgeted right now? No, because these people budget so much money to themselves into their own wallets because they know the economy's going to crap and they want to make as much money as possible before everything goes kaput. And that's the problem with our government, is it's so corrupt and people believe everything that the news tells them, so they don't and the news, we have a freedom of the press and a separation from the government, but they're definitely connected. You have the Republican news and you've got the liberal news. I mean, most news is liberal, and that's a fact. Most news programs are liberal to one degree or another. And then you've got Fox News, who covers a moderate right to far right spectrum. And, they're both definitely biased. You can watch both of them and know they're biased. But, watch both of them and try and figure out the in-between stuff. But, I mean, really, it's just all a bunch of crap that the government feeds you so that you think that they're okay. They play everybody against each other so that they don't realize that they're all corrupt and that there's corrupt Democrats and there's corrupt Republicans. And, I mean, it's stupid to think that it's just one or the other. You have to... It's actually, kind of why I think we should have a government collapse, because I think with a Great Depression, I mean, if everything goes to crap, then at least maybe people will finally get off their, internets as I sit here doing this, get off the couch and maybe go start a revolution, maybe figure out that the government and the politicians that we're electing aren't working. They're corrupt because the system that Washington has created with lobbyists, and you've got, you think big corporate America is gone? The Democrats are just as in corporate America's pocket as Republicans are. The Democrats are just better at hiding it. They're all in the corporate America's pockets. It's called a lobbyist. I take this senator out for dinner. Hey, why don't you vote for this bill? It's going to help this. My company will benefit a little bit. But hey, here's this big golden watch. I'm going to take you out to a lobster dinner. Hey, here's a new Mercedes, and you just think about it for a while, and you let me know how you vote however you feel. But here's all this crap, and that's what lobbyists do. Not all lobbyists are bad, but it's kind of part of the job is to bribe people. That's yeah. It's so the companies can. It's supposed to be a system that allows companies to have an equal vote with the people, but companies are run by people. Those people have votes anyway. It's stupid to think that to give a corporation a vote in the government. The corporation shouldn't have a vote in the government. That just allows corruption to leak in. The CEOs, if they really cared that much, they'd go out to the booth and vote them damn selves. All right, that's all I have to say. And I feel like lobbyists are just the part of the corrupting system that adds to the recession, I guess. It was supposed to be a recession, but it kind of government. I don't know. It would be kind of a hybrid rant. All right. Thank you for listening. I hope I'm not just the crazy, right wing nut. I hope, I don't know, whatever.